Anne Hathaway and Meryl Streep return in The Devil Wears Prada 2, a movie that I found myself surprisingly enjoying and saying that it's a good movie. It comes in at 79% on the tomato meter, 88 by the audience, so people seem to agree that this sequel is actually really not all that bad. It comes in at a runtime of an hour and 59 minutes. And as I said, Anne Hathaway and Meryl Streep return, but so does Stanley Tucci and Emily Blunt. Lucy Liu joins the cast. Kenneth Branagh is here. And I found myself sitting down in the theater watching this unfold, and I'm like, it's cool that this is not a rinse and repeat. Normally, with these kinds of sequels, they just kind of say, okay, well, here are the beats of the first movie, right? And we're just going to kind of emulate that. We're going to copy that. Yeah, she's mean to everybody, and she doesn't like to be nice to the people under her, and she treats them meanly and stuff. But it's not like that at all. And I was waiting for that to happen, but it was kind of like they touch on it a little bit, and they give you a little taste of it, but it's like, yeah, this is a natural progression of these characters, 20 years later. It's cool to see that some of them are back, including Emily Blunt. And I like to see what happened to all of them. And it seems like a natural progression of events. And I found myself surprisingly engaged with the material. You didn't need to be watching the first movie right away to understand what was happening in this one. They gave you enough meat to sink your teeth into to be like, okay, I see what's going on here. I know where these people are, but they do give hints and nods as to what happened in the first one and stuff like that, especially between Emily Blunt and Anne Hathaway's character. I really enjoyed that. And then on top of that, there's a very topical message right now going on about what is journalism becoming with all of the online space, right? Is companies downsizing for the advent of AI a good thing or not? And what does that say about people's takes on artistry and fashion? And I was just like, I like the way that this is going. I really do. I found myself engaged with the way that the story was unfolding. Now, does it wrap up a little too hokey towards the end? Maybe for some, but it was cool. It has lots of cameos in there for people in that fashion world. I like the cinematography is well done. It's well shot. Everything in here looks spectacular. As I said, um, everything is well lit, and then they showcase like the artistry of the costumes and the fashion and all that stuff, and they really capitalize on that stuff, and it kind of reminds you, oh yeah, these are the things that I liked about the first one, and then there's that relationship dynamic between Meryl Streep and Anne Hathaway's character that I found myself resonating with this, and it's a good watch. Just under 2 hours. Could it have been a little bit shorter? Possibly. Let's go back to the tomato meter here and see what people are saying and try to get some sense out of this and see if they echo what I'm trying to convey here. Movie Freak. The new film is like a pleasant visit with old friends. Yes, just don't go into it anticipating anything more than that. No, I think there's some character development. I think that there is. The spectator didn't like it. While the landscape has moved on, the characters have remained the same, and halfway through I started to drift. Another blow is that it's become more sentimental and less satirical. Well, I think that's just the evolution of, okay, we don't have to hit you over the head with the same beats. We're going to try to give you something different. And I found that refreshing. It does give you hints and nods as to some of the satire in there for sure. Totally. It totally does. Some audience reviews. Great sequel, has many top names. The characters' personalities were the same, which makes it a great sequel. Were they, though? Like, I think Meryl Streep's character did evolve, which was interesting to see. Cindy says, I love this movie even better than I was expecting it to be. The characters were all amazing. Loved the wrap up of the storylines, and I like the ending shot of this too. I like how this concluded. As I said, could there have been some stuff in here that was cut out? I think so, with the there's like a shoehorned romance in here that I think you could have just totally done away with that story. That would have shaved off maybe 15 minutes. Let's go to some critics here who didn't like it as well. Film Festival. The devil is very much in the details, and they do not impress. Oh, well, that doesn't say that much. C. It's all pre-digested entertainment for fans, but highlights do remain in the acting. Yeah. Stanley Tucci in here is fantastic. He's just got that presence where whenever he's on the screen, it's like you're watching what he's doing, the way that he delivers his lines, and it's the chemistry of these three bouncing off of each other, right? Uh, and then they all get their moments to shine. He gets a moment to be like step up and say, "Okay, these are my acting abilities." We know what Meryl Streep can do, and then Anne Hathaway too. She's having a good run here. We just reviewed her in Mother Mary, where that very much showcased her acting ability. This is that romance thing that I was talking about that really doesn't fit. But she's got great screen presence, and it's just cool to see her back in this story, back in this universe, and be like, this is not a train wreck. I'm rather somewhat enjoying this. And I think you'll enjoy it too. With that being said, let's look at my score sheet and wrap this up to see where I land. Okay. Uh, I'm thinking that it's going to be rather high, 8 out of 10. Yes, so acting, directing, and story are out of a possible 2 points each. Cinematography and score are out of 1 point. Nothing Oscar worthy in here, but it's competently done across the board for acting, directing, and story. As I said, there's some story beats in there that they could probably have cut out, but it's well shot. When they do all that glamour stuff with the runways and stuff like that, it's just really well framed, well lit. And it's very cinematic. And then the score, there's going to be a lot of needle drops in here. Lady Gaga has got some soundtrack tunes on this, which was really kind of cool. And then the watchability factor is out of 2 points. So, yeah, you'll want to watch this once if you like the first movie, of course. And then does it have some repeat value in there for sure? And if you are a big fan of this universe, you'll probably want to own that. And you would bump this up to a full 2 points, giving it an 8.5 out of 10. But for me, 8 out of 10 feels about right for The Devil Wears Prada 2, a film that caught me off guard and is really setting up Anne Hathaway to have a great year because, as I said, she's got Mother Mary, she's got this. She's going to be in the Odyssey. She's in that movie, Where is Oak Street or whatever, with dinosaurs running through the neighborhood. Wow, what a good year for Anne Hathaway. The Devil Wears Prada 2. Tell me what you thought about it in the comments below, and we will talk about it. You're watching Mirror Domains.